Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. You've seen that clip, Mr. Born Ready, Saul Canelo Alvarez gearing up for his May 6th fight. Brief clip, but in that clip you've seen Canelo is operating with both hands. Now this is good news. Canelo in his very last fight at 154 against Liam Smith, he hurt his hand, his right thumb to be exact, and this is the first time I've really seen him in training in a video that was released where he's using both hands and gloved up with both hands. Before, he was working with his left hook. I made videos about it, devastating left hook. His left hook is already good, but in the absence of being able to use his right hand, he was trying to perfect that. So it's good to see Canelo Alvarez back using both hands, gloved up. He probably will, at this point, get to sparring not too long from now, and he's gonna need that because I told you guys, I made the video. Check it out on the channel. It wasn't a fight prediction video, but I do believe what I said, and the title of the video is 7 reasons why Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is not easy work for Canelo Alvarez, and I do believe that. May 6th, it's a interesting enough fight. You know what I mean? It's a big money fight, first of all, and then it's interesting because of the mix of it didn't. Honestly, this is a fight that fans were requesting for years. And as their careers matured, it looked like Chavez Jr.'s career wasn't amounting to what people thought it would be. He was losing to Sergio Montevilla. Then later, he had a legal issue with Top Rank, shelved for 2 years, dealing with that. Then he came back. His dad told him not to fight Andres Fanfara, a good Polish boxer, guy who's like 6'2", a little bit taller, I think, than Chavez Jr. And that was just a tough fight to come back to. Chavez Jr. did not listen to his father once again. And the reason I say once again, if you remember the HBO 24/7, when Chavez Jr. was in his pink chonies, his dad was giving him advice, and it didn't look like he was paying attention or listening. He fought Fanfara, got outboxed pretty much every round, and got stopped. And then he said, hey, light heavyweight, that's too much weight. That's not my deal. And he should have known that, because not even just the move, but just the move after like a 15-month layoff or whatever he was on to come back and to fight a top guy who even knocked Adonis Stevenson down in Fanfara. It just, that's not a good decision. And I think his dad was, once again, right. But anyway, the reason I think the Canelo fight is a tough fight is just because Canelo's moving up all those pounds, 10 pounds. If you go line for line, skill for skill, Canelo has more skill than Chavez Jr. He's showed pure discipline throughout his career. He hasn't really ballooned up in his weight like in his off season as much as Chavez Jr. He rehydrates pretty well, but it's different. Judging from the clip, Canelo does look pretty big, so he's clearly can ease up on his diet a little bit because he's not making 154, which in my opinion, Canelo was clearly outgrowing. If you watch the Liam Smith weigh-in, he did not look happy. And I mean, different fighters react different, but I was just at a weigh-in yesterday, and that was Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz, which happens tonight. And just a comparative difference, watch that weigh-in, which is on the channel, I filmed it, and watch Canelo versus Liam Smith, a difference. Both fighters, they didn't look like uncomfortable. They were drinking water after and stuff like that, but they didn't look like they were dreading even being there. Canelo's face looked kind of gaunt to me. He looked like stretched. He looked dry at the Liam Smith weigh-in because he had made 155 for 5-6 consecutive fights, and all of a sudden his team decided to fight Liam Smith, who no one had heard of, at 154, making him have to drop an extra pound. And I think 155 was probably challenging enough, and then he dropped that extra pound. So go watch that weigh-in. Even though he tore up Liam Smith and chopped him down, he didn't look good at the weigh-in in terms of like his face, his attitude. He just looked like he was pissed off and didn't want to be there. So I think he was outgrowing 154. So him moving up was natural, but most people thought he would move up just to the 160 mark, right? Which is the actual next division, not a new Canelo weight of 164.5. Now, the flip side of the coin is Chavez Jr. has to be able to comfortably make the weight, right? He struggled in the past making higher weights, 168 or better. So we don't really know. We don't know how Chavez Jr. Right now, it looks like he has everything in line. I talked to Robert Garcia, who's there. Obviously, his brother is fighting tonight, Mikey Garcia, and asked him about the fight. The interview is on the channel. Make sure you guys check that out. And he was saying it's a good fight. It's a tough fight, and both fighters are going to want it based on the person. And it's just what I told you kind of in the 7 reasons. One thing that Garcia said that I liked is in a fight like this, it's just like a pro basketball game. It doesn't matter how 2 teams did throughout their season. If they're known rivals, like that team has a storied rivalry, sometimes that produces the best of those. And that's literally one of the 7 reasons that I said. And I do believe that's true. Like Chicago Bulls and the Pistons or the Knicks or something. Like if they have a storied rivalry, then usually the games are just real good. Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders or something. You know what I'm saying? You can pretty much expect a good game. The Green Bay Packers and the 49ers, games like that, you can expect a usual good rivalry, and people step up and try to bring their best based on the type of game or fight it is. And I think that we should see that with the Chavez Jr. fight and Canelo. I think both guys know what's at stake. This is a fight that's been talked about. Canelo says Chavez Jr. talks too much, and he wants to be the one to shut him up and prove he's the best fighter currently out of Mexico and the biggest name. And then Chavez Jr., I think he wants to redeem himself for some of his past quote-unquote fuck-ups. And he also doesn't like how Canelo operates business. Chavez Jr. has basically made it sound like, I'm just here to scrap. I want to fight. And that's why we took the fight for low pay. We gave in all the Canelo's demands just to get him in the ring. And then that's where we'll do the real talking. But to me, I've done videos about this. It sounds like Chavez Sr. and Chavez Jr. believe Canelo has these quote-unquote diva demands where he wants everything his way and is kind of like a brat about it. Instead of just fighting, he wants to mandate this and change the weight from 165 to 164.5. So I'm looking for a good fight. It's good to see Canelo back with 2 hands. That's just a preview. I'll probably drop more things. I got to do a Boxing Ego first look, tell of the tape, and a ton of other stuff. Let me know who you're picking. As far as Chavez Jr.'s trainer, it has not officially been declared. I don't know if it's going to be Freddie Roach. Robert Garcia, we talked to him, and he doesn't know. He says he's down, but it's really up to their team. Freddie Roach, he's training Cotto. He's probably training Pacquiao for Jeff Horn, or my name is Jeff. So I don't know. I don't know exactly who Chavez Jr. is going to use. I heard it's Freddie Roach and Chavez Sr. Then I heard Freddie Roach might not train Chavez. So I don't really know. I don't know who his trainer is. As far as the venue, that's another thing, question mark. I think it'll happen at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, but it really depends on the bids, whoever is the highest bidder that they want to work with. So that hasn't been officially announced. So I'll keep you guys updated with all that new information. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.